Well, now let's talk about Hugging Face. Like we're trying to bring this puppy home. So what can you say about the role of Hugging Face? I know there was something before Hugging Face before, but like all over the journey, how was it helpful for you guys or for the community or maybe in quantization specifically? What do you have to say about the role of Hugging Face in the past, currently, and in the future too, regarding that? Colin?
I mean, Hugging Face is like a revolution on especially open source. Like the fact that they allow me to store, you can pull up my HF storage file if you want to show that real quick. Like the fact that they allow me to store, I think it's up to like half a petabyte.
Half a petabyte.
That's
you got to pay a premium for it, or
no,
free.
No. Yeah, because they have a private allocation that's free, and then you have to pay if you want more private storage. But if you publish, which is what I do with everything, because why wouldn't I? They allow you to upload. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's restrictions in terms of like abuse potential, but they allow you to upload as much as you want, which is just awesome. And so that's been like, that's the only reason that I have this hobby, is because they allow me to host it somewhere. But then they also, they take it a step further because they have, safe tensors, they have transformers, like they also contribute to the running of these models, not just the storage. So they're really coming from both ends of it, and it's absolutely fantastic what they do. I have tons of respect for the company. I love that they're profitable. Like they said that they don't even need to be, but they are. So that's awesome.
Well, who do you think pays for the hardware?
Well, they've got there's a lot of enterprise use enterprise accounts with Hugging Face. So they make money off of that. They make money off of inference. They've like some of the spaces you pay for those GPUs. Like you can get spaces for free, but you can pay also for GPUs. So like a lot of the most popular spaces will probably be backed by a paid GPU. So things like that. And then obviously they have tons of sponsors as well. But yeah, like they're doing some great stuff for the community, like absolutely unbelievable to expect them to do it. And the fact that they continue to and do it profitably is fantastic.
That's insane. This is like a Wikipedia of LLMs or
yes.
AI.
Except with like orders of magnitude more storage costs.
Exactly. Yes, because articles aren't that heavy.
Yeah,
for sure. Eldar, any additional thought?
Yeah, I mean, like I think the case when like Hugging Face goes down, and then you open up Twitter and Reddit, it's like AGI slowed down by 1 hour or whatever. Because like I mean that's like a clear indicator of how important they are to the entire community.
Wow.
Yeah, and all of the standards that they set in place like became like a de facto standards in industry, which also made our life like 10 times easier. Because now we just kind of like hook on top of that and build on top of that. For example, like with compressed tensors, it's basically just extension of safe tensors. So they built the format. They said, oh, this is how you save the model. And now we just kind of say, okay, if it's a quantized, you just save it like this, but it's still like safe tensors. It's everything there. Also like with the config.json, tokenizer, and so on, we just like build on top of that. If it's a quantized model, we just in config.json, we add one field, quantization config, and specify that. And everything else is kind of standard, works across all of the libraries. It's like I don't know, like I think the most important piece of the open source work right now. Yeah,
that's sick. And how many people do you think work for them? I think there are many, or is this just like a startup sized company?
I think it's closer to startup sized.
Really?
Probably. Yeah.
Interesting.
Their Wikipedia claims 250 employees, which is not small by any stretch, but it's definitely closer to startup size.
Okay, yeah, because in terms of size, in terms of like loads, they really have to take care of a lot of things. Like just guarantee and availability.
Yeah.
That's the benefit. That's the benefit of open source, right? Because they're working in open. They also they set the standard. They like provided the platform for people to work with kind of like collaborative manner, and now they're kind of benefiting a lot from that because now everyone wants to integrate into transformers. I see this across many research papers. Whenever people invent a new technique, like the main target is I want to go to transformers to contribute my code there, and they kind of get it for free now because they set the standard, they did the hard work, and now they're benefiting from that. Yeah,
that's sick. Kudos to them because it's working. I may think even maybe cloud providers would give them some, free hardware or free hosting just because it's an open source kind of workload. Maybe they have behind the scenes some sort of partnership with providers because
almost
I don't
certainly
think it's done at home. Yeah.
And like they also they still have the startup vibe. Like so when Zet storage was being rolled out, they were in contact with me directly. And I was like in contact with key developers. Like if I ran into an issue, I pinged them and they were working on it like within a half an hour, like trying to get me back on block because this was this new system. It's hugely important for their storage costs moving forward.
Of course.
And they wanted to be as smooth as possible and make sure that like I had a smooth experience. So that was just awesome with them. Nice. They also shout out, they hired the NGXen over on Llama CPP. You might have seen him. He's
the guy. He had like that thing with like a video lately. He made like a camera that using a model. It was detecting whatever it was doing and stuff like that.
So he's been dragging Llama CPP kicking and screaming towards multimodality, and has been doing exceptional work. But he is employed by Hugging Face to work on Llama CPP, which is crazy to think about. Also, because that's like in one way it's a competing platform because they have transformers and now this is GGUF. But then in another way, like they have such a huge amount of support for GGUF. Like they have the native viewing of files on Hugging Face platform. Like they are extremely supportive of other platforms, and I think that's awesome from that as well.
Yeah, we may have at some point like equal number of GGUF models in Hugging Face.
Yeah,
like if it continues this way, right? It will, I'm not saying it's the case right now, but like it's really promising.
It is.
Yeah. No, I know that guy. And Zet, just for the audience that don't know, can you just tell like a couple of words what it means? Like it's just, and I know it's in terms of loading the files and sort of a sparsity somehow.
Sorry, which part are you talking about?
The XET storage.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yes. So basically, it was a big focus on trying to deduplicate data. So a lot of, in particular, GGUF models, but probably all formats in general. But they, at a lot of layers, like you'll put that to Q4 for Q4KM. Then Q4KS will also have most of the layers at Q4. And then Q5 will also have some layers at Q4. And then Q4KM will have some at Q6. And Q6 also has. So the point is like a lot of those layers are completely identical across multiple.
Redundant.
Completely redundant, at least from a storage perspective. So Zet introduced this deduplication that allows it. So basically, if you go to upload a file, it'll locally first break it up into chunks and hash them, compare it to what Hugging Face has stored, and see if it can reuse some of its like. So it says, okay, no, you don't have to send that to us. We've already got it. Send us the rest. And so it speeds up uploads. It lowers their storage costs. It's awesome. Like great technology that they've implemented and very beneficial both for end users and enterprise alike.
That's cool. So does it have to be the same name or how does
everything? No. It chunks the files up and hashes it. So at its base level, it does not matter what you're uploading. Let's say
I have Llama Q4K, and then I have Llama, like the same type of Llama, but like maybe a different quantization, or maybe like same quantization, version, but like a different name. Like a guy would just call it maybe the block Llama, but it's the same model. More or less the same quantization. It's just like one is S, one is M, but the naming of the GGUF file is completely out of track.
Yeah, no, it would figure it out, because it's at a data level that it's not doing any kind of like stream comparisons, block level data comparisons, to figure out whether it's stored or not already. Yeah, no, it's very cool.
That's super cool.